How to make a mesh gradient in Figma. Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we will be going over how you can quickly create a mesh gradient using Figma, because mesh gradient have become pretty much a standard background or a standard in illustration nowadays, and any kind of vector illustration or backgrounding that you do. Having a gradient is pretty much the norm now, and they look very nice, they're very simplistic, and they are relatively easy to create. So this is a beginner-friendly tutorial. If you are not used to working with Figma, don't worry, this is going to be very simplified and you can easily follow step by step. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Now I have logged onto my Figma account and I will simply click on New Design File on the top left over here. Once I have opened up a new design file, I can name it on the top. So I'm just naming this as a mesh gradient. And then after that, I'm going to create my frame. So whenever you're working in Figma, the first thing you want to do is click on the top left over here. And you can see your frame, and you're just going to create a frame. You can choose whatever frame size you want, if you're doing this for iPhone backgrounds, whatever you want to build. When you click on frame, you actually get multiple different, frames that you can work with. So desktop frames, let's say I want to build a background for my MacBook Air. I can click on that, and it's going to give me the exact dimensions for a MacBook Air. So after I have created my frame, this is the first step. You're going to start creating shapes that you want to base your gradient on, because gradients don't have to be simple one-colored gradients. They can be of multiple different items meshed in together. And that is what I mean when I refer to a mesh gradient. So if I create a rectangle over here and I create a circular shape over here like so, I'm going to place this over here. Then I can even go into the line tool and take the pen over here. I'm just going to use the pen tool or the pencil tool. Now I'm just building a very random shape like so. And I'm just joining it like this. And once I have my shape ready, once I've created this, I'm just going to click on done, and I can actually fill this out. So if I click on this, I can see on the right side over here, I have pass through, normal, the layer saturation, the pen stroke, and then I can click on fill. Then I can fill it to my color of choosing. Then I can even, remove any of this or delete this, however you want to build your little structure. I'm going to change it up a little because I don't like this shape. I'm just going to go on ahead and cut it out for now. So we're going to move it like so, even resize it a little like so. And then I'm just going to fill it in. And I'm just going to make it like a darker shade of gray so it's easier for me to denote everything. And your frame actually allows you to cut through, the sections you don't want to appear. So in this way, I'm just going to build another little shape like so. After that, I'm going to fill it out just with a shade of gray, just so I'm easily able to denote everything. And for now, I'm just going to set these out. I'm just going to place everything like so. Just to make it easier for me to later on denote everything, I just like to go with different colors of gray, because later on you're going to change the colors anyway to, the actual gradient that you want to pursue. Now I'm just going to add a couple of more shapes just to fill out, my background, how I want it to appear. So I'm just going to go into the ellipse, add one over the top like so, and then we're going to add a couple of more. I've just duplicated this. I'm going to resize it like so. Now, once I have set up my design, so once your design has been completed, you're certain with the way that it is going to appear, you're just going to move on to your second step, and the second step is actually to begin coloring it. So you can select any of your items and begin adding the colors that you want. You're going to choose your color scheme. So let's say I want to do a color scheme that is green and pink. So I'm just going to select, the colors that I want. I will just select each individual item and add the colors. You can do this randomly, or you can build your color scheme in accordance to pre-existing colors that you might have. So I'm just going to build my color scheme. I'm doing a very basic gradient. So now I've just added all my shapes, and I've colored all of my shapes to the color scheme that I want to follow. It's green, then pinks, and Now that I have completed that, I want to begin creating my mesh blur. So to do that, all I have to do is I'm going to select all of these items like so. You are just going to select all of your items. Once you have done that, you can see on the right side of your screen, you're going to scroll down. Once you scroll down, you find your effects. In your effect, you see drop shadow, but you're going to select that and click on layer blur. Then you're going to adjust the value. So I'm going to increase the value. So this is a little too much, and I'm going to set it to 20, and I just changed up the opacity as well, so you guys can choose however you want to build it. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go on ahead and change back our original opacity as well. So just changing up the values, what I'm going to do is this time I'm going to actually take my frame and I'm just going to do a Command Z just to show you guys once more. So this time, instead of selecting my entire frame from here, I'm going to select all the elements within the frame. So you can select all these elements without, selecting everything else. So we have our little frame, and we can just select the entire frame like so. If you want to do that, if you want, blurred edges, you can totally choose that, or you can just choose all of the individual items by clicking on shift and then selecting each individual one. So let's say we have all of these, and after that you're just going to scroll down, click on layer blur, and you're going to add the value of your blur. And just like that, you have your mesh gradient. Obviously, the higher the value, the better the blur looks. If you add 100 value, it usually looks pretty amazing as well. And then you have your cut through, so you have your layout, how you want everything to be laid out, and you can totally adjust that however you want. But moving on, the next thing you have to do is to clip content. So we want to clip content outside of frame. That is what I want to do. Then you have your auto layout, however you want your item to be layout, and then you have your grid as well if you want a grid, if that is up to you. Now after that, what I actually recommend is creating more of a depth within your items. So once you have your mesh blur ready, you want to create more depth, and depth can be created in a very simple manner, simply by creating a simple new element. So you can go into your little eclipse, and let's say I want to bring like a little bit of a shine in the screen. So in this section, I can create a little eclipse, and I can fill it out with a white color like so, and then this just looks like, gives a shine, it gives texture, and it's very essential to add something with shine and texture just to make it look a little better. If you select all of your items and scroll down, you have your effect. You can add another effect, and you can click on inner shadow, and you can also add some more shadows like so. And you can choose how you want the effect color to appear, so you have a bordered effect if you want to add those. Then you also have some other basic effects like your background blurs and drop shadows as well. That's totally up to you. And after that, you can actually go ahead and see your prototype, and you can build flows and interactions. But once you have everything ready, you're just going to select all of your items, you're good with it, you're just gonna go ahead and you can export it now. So to export it, all you have to do is go into your design, click on export, and export this as a PNG. You also have a preview that you get of how the export will look, and you can even click on share over here to share a basic link that other people can view as well. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.